Perception Media. I am your hostess, the Cinegeek, and today I'm talking about the 1982 movie to end all 1982 movies, The Dark Crystal. So I'm a huge fan of Jim Henson and Frank Oz, and this movie is unprecedented. Even to this day, there has been no movie of this scale, in that it is the only movie that doesn't have that's live action, that doesn't have any human characters. There are some faraway shots that feature people playing the Gelflings, but generally speaking, there are no human characters in this film, and it's all live action. It was done fully with puppeteering and costumes, and that's so impressive. No other film has even really tried to do it. It didn't flop at the box office, but it didn't do that well, and after that, they had an idea they spun out called Fraggle Rock, and then they also went back and made another movie called Labyrinth. But Dark Crystal is a weird movie. It's like a lot of 80s sci-fi movies, in that it's strange, and it kind of follows the hero's journey, sort of. And I'm really excited. I can't remember what network. I want to say it's HBO is doing a revival. Netflix, I think, is doing a revival, The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, which I will get into what that will be about in just a minute. So let me just explain kind of what happens in The Dark Crystal. It opens with like one of the longest narrations of any movie I've ever seen. This narration is like 15 solid minutes, and it's super repetitive. I honestly would not personally consider it very good writing, but we'll get into the dialogue and writing in a few moments. So we open in another world. The planet they're on is named Thra, Thra. In another time, 1,000 years ago, in an age of wonder, 1,000 years ago. Did I mention repetitive? So there's this crystal that cracked, and a single shard was lost. And this is the shard that it's going to be, kind of our MacGuffin throughout the film. There's this huge strife began after the crystal was cracked. And when the crystal cracked, two races appeared: the cruel Skeksis and the gentle Mystics. So at the end of the film, we're going to find out that these two races that appeared were actually, at one point, one race called the Urskeks, and I'll get more into them again later. So the cruel Skeksis took control of the castle of the crystal, and they've been ruling over Thra for this past 1,000 years, but they are dying out, and the gentle Mystics went to, I think, the Valley of Sand, maybe, something like that, and they are also dying out as well. And when the movie opens, there's 10 of each left, and the Emperor of the Skeksis and the Wisest of the Mystic both die during the film, and so then it leaves us with 9 each, or 18 total. And the crystal keeps the Skeksis alive, as does the sun. There are 3 the planet Thra exists in a solar system with 3 suns, and this is one of those things where, like, when the 3 suns align, a special thing will happen kind of deal. And the Skeksis are also drawing drawing life from the sun. So they figured out how to allow the sun in the crystal to kind of take the life energy out of Gelflings and then later pod people, and to keep them young, even though they really don't look young at all. So we enter with this orphan who is a Gelfling named Jen, and he's like this chosen one who's to take the shard and stop the Skeksis. And he meets a female Gelfling, and they're the last 2 Gelflings, and her name is Kira, and she was raised by the Pod people while he was raised by the Mystics, and she's able to talk to animals, and she has this, like, tiger, lion, puppy, fizz giggle. It's fun and unique, but also dark and kind of scary for a kids movie, but I guess it's okay because they're puppets. I don't know. Well, anyway, they go to the castle of castle of the crystal, and they put the shard into the crystal, and this allows the 9 remaining, I think another one died. Whatever, this allows the Skeksis and the Mystics to form one creature again, and one more time, that is called an Urskexy. Urskexis? Urskex. I don't know how this is pronounced. I'll spell it. Urskex. I'm going with that. And they end up leaving to a higher level of existence. And side note, just want to mention that the music in this movie is so good. And that the shard is put back into the crystal during the when the 3 suns touch, as I said before, and this is the fourth great conjunction. So whenever there's a great conjunction, something important happens. So in the Dark Crystal lore, and I'll link to the bottom where I found this information, there are 4 ages: the Age of Innocence, the Age of Harmony, the Age of Division. Oh, never mind, I can't count. There are 3 ages, and then there are 3 great conjunctions. So the Age of Resistance, which is what this new show is going to be about, happens during the Age of Division, so I guess they're creating a separate age for this. And the Age of Innocence is when Urgra is born, and she was born from Thra, and she has a son, Ronip, I guess is how his name is pronounced. And she learns a lot and teaches a lot to the Gelflings. And there are, I think, 7 Gelfling clans. And they are the entities that populate Thra, kind of like people populate Earth. And when we get to the first great conjunction, that's when the 3 suns align for the first time. That's when the Urskex arrived and built the Castle of the Crystal. You get to the second great conjuncture, and that's the Age of Division. That is when the crystal cracked, and we got the Skeksis and the Mystics. And the Mystics are also called the Uru. And this is when, as I said, the TV show will be taking place. So from the 7 Gelfling clans, each clan has a female ruler called a Madra, called a Madra. And I don't know why I've got so close to the camera. And so there is this really cool kid called Ryan, kind of like spelled like Ryan Johnson spells his name, Rian. And he has a friend, Gurjin, and they are captured and taken to the Castle of the Crystal, but they end up escaping, but they find out that the Skeksis are betraying the Gelflings. So Gurjin's twin sister, Nia, and a Vaporan soldier, don't know what that is, they go looking for Gurjin. They all meet up, and they go to the capital the Gelfling capital, Harar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of these things correctly. Anyway, so then they talk to the Madra, and then all 7 Gelfling clans unite. They create the Wall of Destiny, and that's what Jen and Kira read that's how they learn that they need to take the shard to the crystal to put it back in. And then they have this great war, which is the Resistance, and that's when the Skeksis made the Garthrim, and it's called the Garthrim War. Those are those big, like, beetle-looking things that are in the Castle of the Crystal that the Skeksis have. So they have a giant war with them, and as we know, all of the Gelflings are killed except for Jin and Kira. So this takes place, maybe probably within 100 years before the events of the movie. I think it's a really cool idea. This does have a very rich backstory, and I think it's a fun idea to go in and have the beginning, because at this point we already have the Skeksis and the Uru, or the Mystics. So we're really just leading up to, when all the Gelflings are killed. Though, if they go full on, I mean, we're gonna witness the slaughter of the main characters, which is terrifying. One of my personal favorite shows is Dinosaurs, which is also a Jim Henson production. And if you recall the ending of that film, or that TV show, which is largely considered one of the most depressing endings for any child TV show ever made, they killed all the dinosaurs. It showed them going extinct. It's very depressing, but very realistic. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went that far, but I would be a little disheartened. I just think it's such a fun, rich story, and they have in this, really great idea in this concept, and they are, as far as I know, doing the puppets. So I'm really excited to see, in 30 plus, no, almost 40 years later, like how far puppeteering has gone, because Jim Henson's company is really the only company that has ever put that much into their puppeteering and, their care and dedication into these rich stories. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Dark Crystal. Are you excited for Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance, now that you have a little bit of context as to what it's about? Feel free to recommend me to go do a deep dive on something. I'd love to. Have a great day. We need a Midnight movie, and see you later.